Hi. I think in my years as a teacher, I've acquired many disposition, whether I was aware of it or not. It all starts with respect, in my opinion. So I treat my students like humans. And that is like one of my biggest teaching mantras of just teaching your kids like a human, not barking orders at them rather than just talking to them as somebody who was just trying to instill information in them. Um, this has proven to be effective with all my students, especially with the students who are considered problem students. They tend to be more receptive to my direction because I talk to them at their level, and what I mean by at their level, I talk to them with a level of respect that I don't feel like I'm talking down to them. I'm talking to them, and they seem to be really receptive to that. And not only that, but I also create a learning environment where mistakes are allowed to happen, which means that I am a human, so that's why I just treat my own kids like humans. I think that creating a learning environment where mistakes can happen means that I'm teaching, like if I'm teaching something and I make a mistake, or if I'm like not 100% sure if they're asking me a question, I'm not afraid to look it up with them, or like, let's just do a Google search real quick, let's find out, and we'll just do it together. um, I make sure to let them know that it is okay to make mistakes, and this is a learning environment where mistakes happen so that the learning can occur, we can grow. um, I also think that I am very good at being present with my kids, and um, a major part of allow being a teacher in class is just allowing an environment where you're compassionate and paying attention to the students who are in front of you and their needs, whether it be something that is a required accommodation or if it's just something that you notice that they might need because maybe they don't have the proper support at home, and it's my job to make sure that they do get that support. For the next question, I personally know that I can work on all of them. I am a human. I have room for improvement for everything, and there's always room for improvement. I know that I am a very compassionate, professional, and fair individual, and I know that I'm very good at reflecting because I have such a good learning or teaching environment where the teachers here have become very close at this particular school, so it's very easy to venture out. But my biggest problem was when it comes to the dispositions is my dedication. I personally feel like I always viewed myself as more like a river, and I flow through life and I don't dedicate myself to much of anything. I grew up um, with one vision, and I was going to do it one way, and then I kind of got out of that, and now I'm doing things my way. I've already left this career before because I think that that's a level of dedication that I struggle with. I just don't believe that I am the kind of person who is meant to be in one place forever, and that is just the way I was made. I think that's the way God made me, and I think that's the way I'm intended to be. But I like that about myself. I think that I flow, and I just allow life to happen and bloom. And I'm using this like action because I think that you use life as a flower and you allow it to bloom in the way that it naturally happens, and it's more beautiful that way. But it can have everything in moderation, right? So personally, I think that it can be a fault because I'm a little bit too fluid with my own actions, and that could be problematic in my career plans. The last question is asking about a professional educator. A professional educator is an educator who does all of the things that's mentioned in the dispositions, but specifically just professional conduct and modeling ethical behavior, following your policies, maintaining confidentiality. That's a big one when it comes to like students who you think that might need a little bit extra attention. Sorry, I'm stuck at school because we have parent teacher conferences this week. Um, Another big thing is exhibiting professionalism. I think that punctuality is and wearing unrevealing attire. Like right now, I'm dressed for work, so I'm wearing a sweater that is covering my body, and I would wear things that don't have any offensive attire or anything on it, any graphics that could be considered offensive. And then another big thing is participating in learning communities, professional learning communities, as I said before, is a really big thing. I am really lucky where I have a really great learning community in my current location, and it's not just really good for a teacher, but it's good for anybody who wants to venture in any form of education. So I'm really lucky when it comes to that. And I think that those are really big things when it comes to being a teacher.